Come on, tell me if I don't know, I don't know. But I feel it is my antidote. Soca is my antidote. Yes, it is my antidote. Soca is my antidote.
WEFM is SVG.
Voice of the Man Bongo Prime representing for Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9. Ah.
We are back with more talk time here on Activated Mornings. This time we are joined by Mr. Lyf Compton, who is going to give us some commentary. Good morning to you, Lyf.
Good morning, Dianna. How are you this morning?
I am good. What about you?
I'm great.
Lovely.
And where is Roleza?
I am here, Mr. Compton.
How are you?
I am fine.
So good morning to both of you. And
we also have our third co-host, Lyf. She's online, Nicole.
Okay, good morning.
Hello, Lyf. Good to hear you. Thanks for joining us.
Big crowd this morning. Yes. So what I want to speak about this morning is the situation in Grenada. I'm not sure if many people are aware of what is going on in Grenada. So basically, the United States, in their continued effort of their so-called narco-terrorist monitoring, and I can't even say detention because they're not detaining them, the narco-terrorist monitoring and killing of alleged drug dealers in the region. They are trying to now pull Grenada into it. So for some background information, the U.S. has a strong military presence in the southern Caribbean, where they are claiming that they are fighting narco-terrorists, and they are basically blowing up boat that they are telling the world is transporting drugs to the United States. So they're basically killing people in the pretense of the fight against drugs. And this is a targeted operation involving Venezuela. So now, they already have Trinidad on board with them. The Trinidad government is supporting the mission that they are currently carrying out. Now they're trying to bring the rest of the Caribbean in. So recently, they have asked Grenada to be allowed to set up monitoring radar equipment at one of their airports so that they can have a better look out, monitoring under the pretense of they are trying to monitor illicit trafficking, smuggling, and they are trying to help the region to combat crime. So they go to Grenada now, they go to set up this radar monitoring system at the airport. Now, this is very strange because if the US is one of the most powerful nations in the world with equipment that can monitor anything from anywhere they feel like. So why they're trying to involve Grenada in this is like of a concern, at least to me. Because if you're saying that we need your location, you have a strategic location that we need to set up radar equipment, well, basically you could have to have one of those carriers in Grenada's waters and monitor the movements from the carrier, or you could pick another strategic location because you're already controlling the waters in and around Venezuela. So I don't understand why is it that you want to involve Grenada. Now, several other Caribbean leaders have come up and said, well, listen, no, don't let this happen. There's also been protests in Grenada. Now, if Grenada approved this weekend, according to what some persons who are studying the whole development of things, they're basically saying it could serve as a precedent for other Caribbean nations being asked by the US, whatever other major power for similar installations and partnerships. And for regional organizations like CARICOM, the balance between security cooperation and maintaining our own personal decision making in relation to certain things. That is a theme of CARICOM because we want to be seen CARICOM. We just want CARICOM to be seen as one combined institution in relation to everything. So US come here and say in Grenada, hey, what happened? We want to set up this thing here and let us set it up. Or if they don't let us set it up, certain things going to happen. Which we have already seen with them saying that the whole Cuba mission, the Cuba medical mission, it's something that is helping the Cubans basically take advantage of the citizens. And we have seen like even some Grenadian politicians have gotten their visas or whatever revoked because of this whole Cuba medical mission thing. Now Grenada has a decision to make because it will all touch on the foreign policy, the tourism, security, local governance, the national sovereignty and that sort of thing. So I think it's important for people to pay attention to what is going on here. Because the US always goes into other countries under the pretense of we're doing it for this. It's the reason we're doing it. But oftentimes the reason is not what they say. And oftentimes the reason is so obvious to people. And in closing, I would just say that a lot of people in the region, including in Grenada itself, see this as an attack on the sovereignty of nations. And if Grenada says, okay, yeah, cool, come in, set this up, who next? St. Vincent? But we recently saw a New York Times article where they had a bale of cocaine, a picture of a bale of cocaine on a beach, and they say, oh, this is splashed up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So after Grenada, who's next? St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, Antigua, the whole region. So that's something for people to think for this morning, and that's my contribution this morning.
All right, Lyf, thank you.
All right. No problem.
Enjoy the rest of your day. The conflict in the Caribbean. I wonder how many Caribbean nationals ever thought that we would be mentioning such a thing or seeing such a thing. You know, you're accustomed to looking at things on your TV and hearing things on your radio, and you think, oh, it's not us, it's way over there. And if it can happen if it could happen there, it could happen here. And if it could happen here, it could happen there. Now we are faced with this event, and that's what Lyf was talking about there. The US and their actions, the things that they're doing, and them wanting to involve the Caribbean in their actions, I would say, because drug war. CARICOM released a statement, and I think it was Pijan who said on Sunday, what is CARICOM doing other than releasing a statement or other than making a statement? So I think Caribbean people are looking to their leaders now to say, well, what are you going to say? What is your position? Because I do believe, and I think most of us may believe, that eventually they're going to go to other islands. It wouldn't just be Grenada. Soon we'll get something. And guess what? We've all been accepting help. The US is always out and about helping all over the place. So, the time will come when they might say, hey, you remember such and such. I'm just kind of playing here, right? But there are things to consider. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
All right, so we did touch on this yesterday, and we spoke about this when Doc was on. So I suppose the comments that we can make today wouldn't be different so much from what we said yesterday, because to this point, I still don't think that I've heard of Grenada coming out and making a statement with regards to what it is that they're going to be doing there. We know that for sure, Gaston Brown came out and said, no way, right? Well, in other words, he said, no way. But to this point, we haven't heard anything coming out from Grenada. And I suppose I also do have to question as to whether or not lingering on giving a statement, is that also an indication of something, right? And you know that sometimes we say silence means consent. I don't always believe in that, but in this case, the lingering or the not quickly releasing a statement, could it mean that it is possibly being considered, right? And if it is, I would be seriously disheartened. It's the same way I would feel about Trinidad taking a stance. We, as a region, as I said before, collectively, we hold our head together, right? Because whatever affects one country is also going to affect another. Though it is that I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we, all of us, or many of us, would have ties in Grenada, in Trinidad and Tobago, in Barbados, in St. Lucia, in wherever, right? Whether it is that we have family members from there, we originate from there, whether we have worked or gone to school there, whether we have friends there, whether we have visited, we have that connection. So we have to hold, or we really and truly should hold one head together when it comes to this position. As Lyf said, and as we've been saying before, it is one of those see-through, very transparent strategies that is being used by Trump. We know it's not in the fight against drugs. So it's for us not to become pawns in his game. All right. So we have a caller. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning, Angels.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Former Commissioner.
A very interesting topic this morning. Well, it's actually a continuation from yesterday. We in the Caribbean have to be very careful. We have to watch what is taking place and pay attention. I saw a video from Honest to Cook, and it's very interesting about some cocaine that wash up on a beach in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, one of the Grenadian islands. And changing enough, it keep commissioner or any commissioners release anything that some people will go to push things. Get up Grenada, an opposition parliament. Peter, something I can't remember his surname, but he made a statement, a bold statement in respect of the decision he think Grenada should take, and I tend to agree with him. But we'll just have to watch and see what is taking place.
Okay.
The Caribbean is a zone of peace, and I think it should remain in that way.
Yes.
That's my contribution, Angels.
Before you go though, I noticed that you said that we didn't hear anything coming out from SVG, like no statement released from the commissioner or whoever, well, mostly commissioner. But I was actually curious, if this did happen, would we have heard?
Well, if we have a lot of fishermen in around the waters, and if that will happen in St. Vincent, for sure you'll hear something.
Okay.
Not necessarily. Well, in most cases, the policy is last to know. But somebody you'll heard it somewhere from coming up to the Grenadines, because fishermen is always up and down the waters.
Okay.
And it's a thing like that, they will speak.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Thank you.
Right, my dear.
Bye-bye.
And this is definitely one of the things that is going to destabilize. First of all, we have to always be very cognizant and remember that the CARICOM region is one of the earliest unions of nations inside of the globe, and especially the global south. And the destabilization of economies and of a collective community is going to literally be the end of us. Whether it be even in the simplest of senses of wanting to infiltrate the waters, it's going to affect trade, it's going to affect our various economies, particularly tourism, and it's going to totally destabilize the region, and it is a tactic.
Okay.
All right. It is definitely something, we have to keep looking out for. But one of the things that I look out for the most, or I'm looking forward to the most, is the actions of our leaders. Yes, we've heard that Gaston Brown has come out and say, I'm even waiting for y'all to ask me. The answer is no. Big up Gassi there again, right? So what are the other people doing? And while I appreciate Gaston Brown coming out and saying where he stands, I am one Caribbean national who's tired of statements. Most statements I just scroll past because what is all we're making is statements. And I think I sometimes wonder if our leaders are even being taken seriously, or if they care to be taken seriously. Because even with that zone of peace thing, I don't even think that's serious, because when that zone of peace was formed, it was formed in Cuba, and the zone of peace is supposed to say, we don't want any military base here, we don't want any of this here, we don't want any of that here. But even in the country where you signed the zone of peace, the US has a military base. And I mean, to me, that don't make sense to me. Maybe that's just a me thing, but it doesn't make sense to me that you're signing a zone of peace in a country where the zone of peace is being violated while you're signing the zone of peace. That as well doesn't make sense to me. But hey, let's go that and move on. It's time for us to head out. In just a few moments, we are going to be bringing to you our interview with the alumni of the intermediate high school. It is 8:01 and our time check came to you by the New